WIFO-FM in Jessup. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show for this July 26th, and it's brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and First Southern Bank.
Hi, Wayne and surrounding counties. This is Sean O'Quinn with O'Quinn & Associates. The one constant in life is change. Throughout our lives, we will go down roads that we never imagined. I have decided that it is time for me to make a change. I have decided to start my own independent insurance agency. What does this mean for you? Better rates and multiple companies. Give us a call at our new number, 912-385-1000, or stop by and see us. We are still at 212 South 1st Street, and we look forward to serving you.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jessup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to the barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, how you doing this morning?
Doing good.
Doing good?
Yep. Getting ready for football season.
Football season, man, it's just around the corner. Good interviews there with Coach Rocky and then a couple of the Wayne County players there that'll be seniors this year. And a couple of the offensive linemen there. So the offensive line looks like it's going to be pretty good this year for Wayne County, right?
That's what I'm hearing.
That's what you hear.
That's what I'm seeing.
They need to all, let's see, you got the center, the two guards, and the two, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Tied in.
And they can have a big poster that says, here's the beef.
They got depth, which is good to have.
That's good to have. I mean, a team is as good as his offensive line. We all know that. Right. But we have a couple of guests in this morning. School beginning, I think, next Friday. Is that correct?
Friday, August 5th.
And we have a couple of guests in this morning that know everything that everybody needs to know about the opening of school here in Wayne County. Is that right, Bob?
I hope so. Teachers report August 1st. We got School Superintendent Dr. Sean Kelly in the studios, also Reggie Burgess with us. So who wants to go first? What do you want to talk about first?
I'll go first.
Reggie? Dr. Reggie Burgess, go ahead.
Sure, I'll go first. Hey, McKinley, I'm famous. That was my granddaughter who asked me this morning if I was going to be famous.
Who was that now?
My granddaughter, McKinley.
Yes, he is famous now, McKinley.
But just some general back-to-school information I want to make sure parents are aware of. The original calendar that went out several months ago had the start date as August 4th, but the board decided to add an extra day during pre-planning for teachers and staff members to go through a safety training day. So it's important to know that the first day of school is actually Friday, August 5th, and that was already mentioned. So just want to let everybody know the 5th. Friday the 5th is the first day. We are going to continue with our text messaging system, our Kinvo messaging system, just to try to communicate with our families as best that we can. That's one of the things that every year when we get feedback, communication is always a concern. So that is our primary means of doing mass communications. We send out those text messages. Did want to mention that when people do reply to those messages, when one message goes out to 5,000 families, you'll get several hundred replies. It's just hard to reply to all those. So I don't want anybody to think that we're ignoring those. It's just very difficult to reply to all of those in a timely manner. Traffic congestion is always a concern on the first day of school. So just want to ask parents to be be diligent and be aware of what's going on around you. Don't be, whipping out around cars and such, because it will take a few days to get into the routine. And along those lines, just want to remind everybody, never ever pass a bus when the amber lights are flashing. We go through a safety training course every year, and somewhere across the state, you see videos every year of people just whipping around buses when they're stopped and almost hitting children. So we want to make sure that all of our children are safe. Please do not pass a bus when those lights are flashing. Supply lists, all the school supply lists, if parents need those are on our websites. They're on the main website. We have a new place on the website. It's if you look on that main page, there's a place over on the right side. It's called a flyout, and it says Parent Resources. Those supply lists are in there, and they're also on each individual school's website as well. So, and you can actually, I think you go to Walmart. They have those on display there at Walmart also. For immunizations, nothing has changed this year insofar as immunizations go, but just want to make sure that people are aware that when children when they enroll in pre-K, there are certain immunizations that have to be done. When they have that done, those kids are good all the way through 6th grade. But when they go to 7th grade, they have to have 2 more additional vaccines, and those are the Tdap and the MCV4. I'm not going to try to pronounce those words on there because they're like really long. But those are the 2 that students have to have when they're entering 7th grade. And then once they have those done, they're good all the way through 10th grade. When they get to 11th, they have to have that MC4 booster. So if you have a concern or a question about that, please contact one of our school nurses, and they'll be glad to let you know about those. Let's see here. Our parent-student handbooks. We want to make sure that parents are aware. We're not going to be passing out the traditional paper version of the handbooks. We have those on our website now, and those are also on our main page. Parents can go to the website, and there's a tab out there, the same place those supply lists and as parent resources are. There's a flyout button there that says student handbooks. You can read those. They're already published. You can look at those, and then we're going to send home on the first day of school with students. We're going to send home the signature pages for those. We were hoping to do those electronically, but there were just too many issues to try to work out in a short time. So we're going to send those paper copies home and ask parents to read over the handbook, make sure they understand it, sign that code of conduct, sign those other forms that are in there if needed, and then return those to the teachers.
So the parents, guardians sign these papers that the students bring home on the code of conduct, and then the students bring them back to
that's
school.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes,
all right.
that's correct.
So you've got confirmation that the parents or guardians understand the code of conduct for the students at school.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
And then those handbooks will remain on the website all throughout the entire year, so they can always go back and look at them if they need to. If they want to request a paper copy of it, they can contact the school office, and we'll give them a paper copy of the handbook.
Yeah, a lot less paper copies of everything's going out these days.
Yes, it's
so where's my copy? It's on the website.
Yeah,
so
and we're just trying to be good stewards of the funds that we have entrusted to us. And
costs a lot of money to print stuff.
When you're printing, 5,500 copies of things, that gets to be expensive. So we're gonna have those on the website. I did want to mention too, there is a little bit of confusion every year on the pages that go home. There's that code of conduct page. The high school and the middle schools have 2 opt-out forms, and one of those is called just opt-out form, and that's for students whose the parents don't want them to participate in clubs for whatever reason. They can sign that opt-out form. They can say, I don't want my child to be in so-and-so club, and then the school administration will make sure that happens. The other form is the media web opt-out form, and I'm pretty sure what happened a long time ago when there was only one opt-out form in the handbook, it was just named the opt-out form. Now they have the media opt-out form, and what that does is that if a parent doesn't want their child's picture on the website or published in Facebook or sent to the newspaper or anything like that, they sign that media opt-out form. And last year we had a lady call. She was pretty upset, not with me, but just generally upset. She said, well, my child went on a field trip, and I'm looking on Facebook and on the system Facebook page at all these photos of these kids on here. Why isn't my child in any of those pictures? We went back and looked, and the parent had signed a media opt-out form. So we could not put that child's picture on the website, and so the parents signed it not really realizing what they were signing.
So y'all have to go back through and look at all these opt-out forms when you got pictures taken and stuff like that. Man, that could take some time.
It does.
Yeah.
So, we just want we're trying to honor parents' wishes, but sometimes parents, when things come home, you just, you sign it, get it back. So just be careful and make sure you understand what you are signing. let's see here. I did have a couple other things I want to mention before I turn it over to Dr. Kelly. School attendance is always very important. It establishes habits and just attitudes that kids are going to carry with them throughout their entire adult lives. More than anything, in my opinion, school attendance really holds us back from being a great school system to being an exemplary school system. We have all the things in place to make sure we're doing our best to educate kids, but if they're not there, there's not a thing we can do. We really need them to be at school. Our plan is to open up right now, under the current COVID situation, we're planning to open up under normal conditions. Everything's going to be like it was pre-COVID. We're opening up, in the same manner we normally would. And so kids can come to school. They have the option. I've been asking about masks. They can certainly have the option to wear masks. That will not be a mandate. We're going to open up under normal circumstances.
Well, they always say that 50% of life is showing up.
That's right.
So, and then do school systems still get reimbursed for their average attendance from the state? I know they did years ago, and that's the reason we were explaining to us, just show up, because it hurts if we don't have a higher attendance. Right. We don't get as much money from the state. Or is that changed?
We have a couple of weeks during the year we call it FTE weeks, and those are the days that our funding is based on attendance during those time periods.
Oh, okay, all right. So you hand out free candy on those days, huh?
Absolutely.
Did you mention the date of open house?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, open house is going to be Thursday, August 4th, and that's for all the schools. Thursday, August 4th, from 3:30 to 6. And I know every year it seems like it rains at 3:27, but it's hot and steamy. But please don't try to go into the buildings before 3:30 because they're sometimes with the things the way they are. Teachers they're getting ready right up to the minute that parents are coming in. So at 3:30 they'll unlock the doors and everybody can go in.
Okay, that's next Thursday.
Thursday, August 4th.
Open house for all the schools here in Wayne County.
That's
on
correct.
August 4th, 3:30 to
6. Yes.
Okay.
And a couple other things, staff ID badges. I want to mention. I mentioned we're going to be opening under normal conditions. Part of that is we're going to be really cognizant about security because of all the things that are going on across the country. We want to make sure our staff and our students especially are as safe as can be. So we're moving to staff ID badges. Every staff member, from custodian, bus driver, teacher, parapro, everybody up to Dr. Kelly has a staff ID badge. And if a parent comes in the building and they want to go have lunch with their child, that is certainly fine to do. But we're going to give them some kind of form of identification. We're going to ask them for their identification, and we're going to give them like a sticker they can put on, or perhaps an ID badge that says visitor. If they're walking down the hallway and they don't have that displayed, hopefully someone's going to approach them and say, "Can I help you?" Because we don't want people in the building who are not supposed to be there. So we're asking our staff members. Part of that staff training day is going to be making people aware of their surroundings.
Are there going to be just one entrance to be able to go into each school?
Main entrance.
Yeah. And do you have to be let in, or can you walk into a cubicle area and then you go into the main area?
That's correct. All the schools now have an area where you go into. You can get into the office, but then they have to buzz you in past the doors.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And then finally, the last thing I had to mention was we're part of our safety plans is we have a company we're contracting with called Centegix. Our staff members, part of the badge system we're going to have is a badge called Centegix, and it's a method if something goes on in the building where let's say someone's sick or injured, or hopefully a fight doesn't break out or something like that, the staff member can click that badge a certain number of times and it will automatically alert the front office and the nurse that something is going on, and that person, whoever's the administrator for that building or that site, will get a notification on their phone to report to that location.
You got a clicker on your badge?
That's it, right there.
Well, I'll be dead. Look at there, clicker on the badge.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And then if something serious were to happen, like say there was an intruder in the building or something of that nature, they could click it a certain number of times for that, and it will automatically lock down the building.
Wow.
911 will be notified. Police, first responders.
We got to keep that secret. It's a certain time. It's a certain number.
Yes, sir.
Only y'all know that.
That's it.
We could tell you, but then.
But just we're making every effort we can to make sure everybody's safe and just comfortable, and you can't learn if you're scared. So we want to make sure everybody feels safe.
Looks like y'all are really putting a good effort into making sure that parents and guardians and grandparents and all relatives feel safe when their students are at school.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Because you always think it can't happen here, and that's what every community out there says, whether it's large or small, when you hear these things happening. So
that's right.
Makes you feel good that y'all are doing such a good job in keeping up with safety.
Yes, sir.
Making it a priority. All right, Bob? Oh, Reggie, you got some more?
I was going to let Dr. Kelly talk about James E. Bacon a little bit, maybe.
All right, Dr. Kelly,
I'm sure,
school superintendent.
I'm sure Bob has lots of questions about James E. Bacon that we can hopefully answer. But I just want to commend, Dr. Burgess. He does a great job of making sure our parents and our communities know as much as possible about our school system. We've done a lot, over the summer to try to get ready for school to be open. Our teachers and our building level staff are really working hard to try to make sure that we open and provide the best quality experience for our kids. And so our folks worked real hard over the summer.
Okay.
You want to go with the contingency plan? We did on the news, but for people who may have missed it, I mean, there's
so we initially published a contingency plan, and then we had another meeting with the construction manager and our construction company. We do that every 2 weeks, and because of the information we received there, we went ahead and developed an additional or revised our contingency plan, and we published it Sunday. I think Reggie has the particulars about that, so he can kind of give you what we're going to do. And I guess the basics of it is that Mr. Jamie Ellis and his staff, have developed a plan that I think is pretty good. We're going to utilize Coastal Plains since it's right next to James E. Bacon. The Jessup Church of God has been so gracious and welcoming. We're going to use their facility as well. And we're just going to kind of operate 3 separate sites as James E. Bacon, and Dr. Burgess kind of has that information.
The main change in the contingency plan is originally we were going to have all the students and all the grade levels go to James E. Bacon and eat breakfast, then we were going to bus them to their locations. So the biggest change is that now students are going. I believe it's. I don't want to say the grade level's wrong, but the grade level, the pre-K and first grade are going to be going to the charter school, which is used to be the old. I heard it called the English wing, right next to the old cafeteria there by the tech center. So students will now, those in grades pre-K and first grade, will be dropped off at that building on the service road that kind of runs parallel to the football, or to the old vocational wing right there where it ends at the football field. They'll come in that way, and so they'll be dropped off there. They'll have breakfast there. They'll spend the day there, and then that way the food, the breakfast, the lunch will all be delivered to them. We'll have an administrator on site. A nurse will be on site. So it'll just be its own little satellite campus for pre-K and first grade. Second and third graders are going to do the same exact thing over at Jessup Church of God. They'll be dropped off and picked up there at the gym. So they'll have meals delivered there, and that way it really works out better for everybody, because that way there's not any educational instruction time lost for transitioning back into. So then kindergarten, 4th and 5th grade will actually be on the James E. Bacon campus. And so there will be a satellite office at each location. So if parents, if a child's running late, they don't all have to go to James E. Bacon, then take their child to Jessup Church of God or a charter school or whatever. They'll actually take their child to the location that they're going to be spending the day. Any estimate of how long this temporary situation is going to be?
We have hopes and we have realities.
That's the way it is in construction.
Yeah, we hope it's going to be a few weeks, but we're planning for it to be, maybe a couple of months, maybe the first 9 weeks. Okay. Really can't say. Our construction manager and our group, they're working, 7 days a week, 12 to 15 hour days most days trying to get done, but some of the obstacles they've come up against, you just can't plan for or mitigate. We're at the mercy of suppliers and deliveries and supply chain. So they're working really hard, and hopefully it won't be too long. But Mr. Ellis and his bunch have done a really good job and can stay at these sites for a lengthy period of time if necessary.
What's the inside of the building look like? People drive by. I mean, the cafeteria is already completed inside, that they'll be able to have breakfast and lunch inside the building?
Different parts of the building are at different stages. The back half back there where, the old cafeteria and stuff is, that hasn't been demolished yet, so they'll still be able to use that. The current existing admin hasn't been demolished. But, some of the areas are just, shells, and some of them have flooring and paint, and, they're beginning to put in, millwork and things. And so it just depends. Some of the bathrooms are close to completion, some aren't. So it just depends. When you modernize a school and try to go to school at the same time, it's very difficult. And so, you have systems in there that are, decades old that we had no idea, even existed, or we thought they went this way and they went that way. And there's certain things that they're dealing with. When you tie into city, municipality utilities, you have to go through the whole building. And so you may want to keep one part of the building preserved, but in order for all the other parts of the building to work, there's a 6-foot ditch that has to be dug down the middle of the hallway for a main sewer line, and so those things just depend, they determine how things work out. And so, our goal is to get, the annex and I guess it's the pre-K wing, hopefully done very soon. And then there's some parts in the main building that they're really focusing on so that we can eventually get everybody back in the building and, kind of rotate people in and out of the portable cottages, so that we can get it done. But it's
now that
difficult.
big area there where people are going to start entering from the parking lot there in front of that old gym there, that's going to be where people enter from. And that's like a big open commons area, kind of like Wayne County High School. That's what that is. At first I thought, they're building a new gym there? No, that's the commons area, Butch. And that's where everybody will come in, big open area there when you come into J.G. Bank when it's completed.
Admin will be off to the right. I think, the cafeteria, kitchen stuff will be off to the left, so all that will be in what we call the new wing. Mm-hmm. And then, you'll be able to move into the existing building that will be all modernized after that.
Well, I remember when that building was new. I moved here in 1968 when I was in 9th grade, and 9th grade at that time was at the old Wayne County High School. But that was Wayne County Junior High School at the time when it opened up. And so that building, I'm not surprised that you're going through there finding things you didn't know was there because it's been a long time since that building's been there.
Well, and from what I understand and the things that I've seen and the things that people tell me is, there used to be a high school there in the fields. And, even when, Georgia Power or somebody's doing work out in the field, they'll dig down and find
that was Wayne County High School. That's where I graduated from. Both my sons graduated.
They'll dig down trying to do something, and find something that we didn't anticipate, or there'll be something there that's in the way that we have to go under or go over, or so it's going to be really nice when it's finished. They've got the new entrance driveway paved to a certain extent. And when you pull on there and you start driving and you see that big new wing and the big new brick, all the brick, it's going to be really cool when it gets finished.
And no backing up on Orange Street and on Sunset to try to get into James E. Bacon like it has been for so many years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
I would like to thank the charter school. Wayne County school system still owns that building that the charter school's in. But Mr. Day, the site manager there, he has been very gracious in allowing us to use that facility for the pre-K kids and first graders. So that the staff and faculty there at the charter school, they come in like at 3:45 or 4 o'clock every afternoon. Those operations will still be normal as they have been. But there's going to be little people all over the place from.
I know.
From 7:30 to 3:30.
As soon as those elementary kids get out, the other ones come in for the charter school.
Yes.
About that same time. Well, I know there's a lot of challenges for y'all. I know that y'all have personnel challenges. We were talking about that beforehand. You're still trying to fill some slots. If a person wanted to work for the Wayne County Board of Education in some sort of sense, how do they go about applying or looking for a job? Do you have a site that says we need people for these positions?
They can go to our website under the Human Resources section, and it'll list every job that we have available. Those postings are on there. I think we're pretty well set for teaching positions. We have a call board meeting this afternoon to wrap those up. We do still have a need for bus drivers. If anyone, and you can contact our maintenance department there. Ms. Jenny Palmer can help you with that. There's always been everybody has a need for bus drivers, so it's just tough to get those. But I also want to mention if anyone would like to sub or possibly be a paraprofessional, we contract through a company called ESS, and they can apply through the ESS.com to be a sub in our buildings, or if we have any parapro positions that are still available.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. Did have one last thing I want to mention too. This is something unique to us this year. In past years, over the last several years, all of our students in our school system have gotten free lunch and breakfast. Dr. Trapman and the food service department there have done an awesome job of making sure that we've been able to do that. This year, we're going to be able to continue that at Wayne County. We're the only school system in our area, around this area, that will still have 100% free lunch and breakfast for students. So that's awesome.
You say 100%? That means everybody?
Every student, every child in the school system gets to eat free.
Wow.
Yep.
Man. Well, that's a lot better than 35 cents I had to pay when I was a senior in high school.
We used to have lunch tokens back in the day. None of that stuff. So it's just, they have done an awesome job of making sure that our food service department, it's run very well, and it's a top notch organization. So they have made sure that we're going to have 100% free lunch, not free and reduced, free lunch for every student in the school system.
Man, that's good. Good. All right.
What's the bottom line cost of the James E. Bacon? They still guarantee that $21 million is not going to go over that?
Yes, sir. The guaranteed maximum is still around 21 or 22. Mm-hmm. Obviously we have a contingency, but that's built into that number. We hope it'll come in a little bit under that, but, that's kind of what we understand it to be. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, they should get a lot of work done this week. They'll be heating to death out there because it's going to be in the mid to upper 90s, heated next way over 100, but just a slight chance of rain all this week. But when it gets this hot in the afternoons, you just never can tell when those thunderstorms are going to come in. That's right. But Dr. Burgess, Dr. Kelly, thank you very much for coming in. Wishing you all a very successful and safe and prosperous year for 22-23. Anything else our listeners need to know about with the opening of Wayne County Schools next Friday?
I mean, if you don't mind, one thing that I want to share is we're coming out of the pandemic, and we do understand that we still have some issues there, and some things as a result of the pandemic. We've hired an additional crisis counselor, and we're very excited about that to kind of help our kids and our families work through certain situations, either that resulted from the pandemic or just could be things that they're dealing with. Obviously, we still have our counselors at school. But one of the things that we're really going to focus on this year that I'm asking our parents and our students to know and understand is our accountability measures. We want kids to come to school. We want them to be able to be successful. And we're going to work really hard to help our students know and understand that there's going to be a level of expectation that we want our kids to adhere to, as well as, our staff. And we're really going to work hard to help our students and our staff know and understand that, we're coming to school to learn. We want to have a good time. We want to make it fun. But, we have an obligation to provide every child in our school system with a quality education. And we want to make sure that we provide those opportunities in a safe and secure environment. And I really encourage our parents to look at the handbook and, know and understand what's in the handbook. And we are about service. We're going to do that any way we can. But we want people to be able to come to school and learn, and we're really going to focus on that hard in our classrooms this year.
Okay. Bob, anything else? All right. Well, guys, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. All right. Take care. All right. 105.5 FM, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, world famous Butch and Bob Show has been brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Van's Barbecue, by Murphy Builder Supply, and by First Southern Bank.